Imagine staring down a high-stakes dilemma, where picking the wrong stranger to split the prize means they steal everything, and you walk away with nothing. That is the exact situation facing Allison. For the last 30 days, she's been physically chained to 5 different people. Now she is sitting at an elimination table, forced to decide who she trusts. If she picks a saboteur, her game is over. But Allison doesn't stumble. She flawlessly eliminates the exact 2 people in the lineup who had secretly plotted to take the money. This probability tree maps the odds of isolating 2 liars in a 5-person lineup. Relying on pure chance is a statistical nightmare. In an environment where every player is financially incentivized to lie, how did Allison spot the bluffs? Allison's flawless read was built on 30 days of rigorous, hands-on psychological analysis. To catch a liar, you first have to know what the truth looks like. Rewinding to the start of the 30 days, we can see how Allison calibrated her lie detector by studying 2 honest contestants, Juan and Skylar. When Allison was chained to Juan, he didn't pitch a complex strategy. He simply explained that he wanted to win for his 6 children. This altruistic motivation perfectly mirrored Allison's own vulnerability about caring for her father, who was recently diagnosed with dementia. With Skylar, the defining moment was actually a mistake. During a casual conversation, Skylar genuinely forgot the prize pool was $250,000. That accidental slip-up proved she was not hyper-fixated on a deceptive master plan to steal the cash. This chart comparing cognitive effort against time illustrates a concept called unforced behavior. When someone is telling the truth, their cognitive load remains at a low, steady baseline because genuine rapport is built slowly through imperfect, natural interactions. By internalizing how this effortless, imperfect honesty felt, Allison successfully established a psychological baseline to judge every other stranger against. That baseline made any behavioral deviation immediately obvious. This became critical during Allison's time chained to the cowboy. When directly confronted about whether he would split the money, his demeanor shifted dramatically. Instead of offering a simple yes or no, he physically stumbled over his words, stuttering before finally claiming he would split the money as of right now. This timeline visualizes the pacing of their conversation, specifically highlighting the abnormal delay gap between Allison's question and his response. In high-pressure situations, a lack of immediate commitment reveals a brain actively calculating a safe answer rather than simply recalling the truth. That single split-second hesitation flagged the cowboy as a mathematical liability in a game that demands absolute certainty. Allison's final stranger, Bree, presented a completely different red flag. Bree was highly competitive and immediately recognized she needed to secure Allison's trust on an accelerated timeline. To close that gap, Bree deployed an aggressive rapport-building strategy. She made a theatrical display of pointing to a literal promise tattoo on her body to guarantee she wouldn't steal the money. This strategy completely backfired. Extreme, unsolicited guarantees rarely put people at ease. Instead, they trigger our natural human intuition that a threat is being hidden in plain sight. Looking at this line graph, we can see the overcompensation effect in action. As the volume of verbal guarantees rises, actual statistical trustworthiness sharply declines. In low-trust, high-stakes environments, manufactured rapport and overselling are the most glaring tells of a saboteur. Armed with this psychological math, Allison's choices of the final elimination table make perfect sense. She leveraged her behavioral reads to confidently eliminate the cowboy and Bree right out of the gate, leaving the honest players untouched. This descending tiered payout structure reveals the hidden strategic genius of that specific elimination order. By cutting the liars first, she relegated them to the lowest possible consolation prizes of $10,000 and $20,000. Executing the cuts in this sequence built a protective barrier, locking in the highest payout tiers for the honest contestants, preserving the primary prize. Surviving the physical extremes of tiny houses and crashed planes tested Allison's endurance, but winning required an unbreakable perceptual awareness. Even in an environment engineered to reward deception, unforced behaviors reveal a story that the loudest promises cannot hide. You just have to know how to listen.